What's up, Bridal Babes? I hope you're ready for another exciting episode of your favorite local wedding show, Bridal Buzz. Today we're on location at one of San Antonio's newest and most charming wedding venues, El Bosque. It might feel like we're in South France, but I guarantee you we're in South San Antonio. Stay tuned for their open-air chapel, their gorgeous reception venue, and their one-of-a-kind water peace statement. I'm your host, Kat. Thanks so much for being here. It's people like you that keep us going, so don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notifications button, and let's get going. Okay, Bridal Babes, before we get started on the rest of the tour of the venue, I wanted to take a second to introduce you to Lucy. She's an important figure here. I want you to go ahead and tell them a little bit about who you are, where are you from, and how did you find yourself here?
Again, my name is Lucy Freddie, and my husband and I decided to open up this wedding venue. I always wanted to have my own business. The inspiration came from my father owning his for 34 years.
Wow.
And it was in the glass industry, and that's a very male-dominant industry. And I also worked at a trucking company that's also a male-dominant industry. So I looked for something that was very woman-based, and
you got that in the weddings industry, for
yes.
sure.
I just basically got inspiration from my father owning his own business and my son getting married and just loving decor and weddings.
Yeah. So we're located in the Southside of San Antonio, right at 1604 and 181. Tell us a little bit about where we're located and the benefits of this location.
So when I was born in Massachusetts, and my father moved us to South San Antonio. But my husband, he's actually lived on the South Side for all his life. We constructed our home on the South Side. I just kind of fell back in love with the South Side, the connection that I have with it, and that was the reason for our decision.
I love it. I think, you know, if you're close to the South Side, even if you're not, it's worth the little drive out here just to see how unique this space is. And it's very peaceful. You hear the crickets and the birds more than anything. So I love it.
Yes.
And you had mentioned your husband, Peter. I know he's here today, and I'd love to hear a little bit from him on his inspiration behind building the property, and I'd love to see the chapel specifically. So do you want to go ahead and get over there?
Let's do that.
Awesome. Bridal Babes, look at where we are right now, this gorgeous open-air chapel at El Bosque. And now we're here with Peter. Peter, you want to give us a little bit of introduction about who you are and what your role is here?
Well, my name is Peter. This is my wife, Lucy. And one day she wanted to open a wedding venue. So I told her, let's look for some land and see what we can do. And now we're here after about 18 months of a lot of hard work.
Wow.
So we're trying to make it happen.
Lucy told me a little bit about how much time you put into this. You were pretty much the hands behind most of what we see here, right?
Pretty much,
Wow.
pretty much. Had a little help from my son. He'd come out here and help me on weekends when he could, but for the most part, me and my wife, and you know, I built all the pews and tables and things that I could do, you know, with God's gift that He gave me to do a little bit of carpentry work.
Love that. I feel like that one factor contributes so much uniqueness to the space, because you're never going to see a pew that looks like that again, or that was made by Peter. Like, this is it, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, so what inspired this specific shape, this build, the open air? Tell me a little bit about why you guys chose this kind of chapel for your venue.
So there is a historical place in Virginia that they contracted a architect to build something similar to this. We kind of tweaked it, put in our own love into it, and to fit the environment. And so I just love the openness and the possibilities of the decor that could possibly, you know, be added to it.
I feel like you can have a very chic Southern charm feel in here, or you could go super boho, eclectic.
Right.
There's so much to work with.
Or really elegant even, just all out with floral. And
tell us a little bit about the property it's sitting on. How big is the property? What other kind of buildings can people expect to see here besides the chapel?
So we're sitting on 54 acres. We have 5 acres that we use. There's basically a reception area, a bridal suite, and a groom suite, and of course our lovely chapel.
Amazing. So you have the groom suite, you got the bridal suite. What other kind of accommodations are guests going to be receiving from you guys when they book the venue here?
So in our basic package, they would receive the venue with the tables and chairs and the draping of the chapel and the reception area and our lounge areas. That one is more catered to a DIY bride who likes to be involved, and that's more hands-on. Now we do have another option where we do everything for you. We provide our basic decor, the luxury restrooms, the use of the bridal suite and the groom suite, place the tables and chairs for you, and the tear down and setup of all that.
I would love to go see those tables and chairs. I know you built those by hand too, and that's all in the reception area. So Lucy and I are gonna go take a look at that. And Peter, thanks for joining us for a little bit and telling us a little bit about the inspiration and all the hard work you put into the space here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Lucy, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, Lucy, I love how you've continued that open air philosophy into this reception area. It's very similar in that openness, and I think brides are gonna have a lot of fun playing with the space, and their guests are really gonna appreciate it. How many guests can this space accommodate?
So comfortably it's 120, but we can also accommodate 150. We built an extension for our last bride that actually needed more space because she had more invites that came up. So yeah, we can actually accommodate more space down at the bottom, even if they don't mind it being separate.
So for those 120 to 150 guests, what do couples need to go through in order to be secure in their booking process? Do they need to get insurance? What kind of down payments?
What we require is that all our vendors that come out here to El Bosque is that they have insurance. So any vendors, whether it be the florist or caterers, they do need to have their own insurance. They can bring in any vendor that they want, or we have a list of preferred vendors.
Okay, cool. And where can they find that preferred vendor list? Do they just contact you? Is it on your website?
They can contact me directly, or it's on my website.
Okay, cool.
Additionally, they can also bring in their own alcohol, as long as it's served by TABC.
Safe parties.
Yes. And so we make it really convenient for our brides.
I love that. And I'm sure the brides will also love that as well. Tell me a little bit about what a typical wedding day would look like here.
So in our packages, we offer the venue usage from 2 to 10.
Okay.
So the bride can come beginning at 2 and then ending at 10 to get ready. Meanwhile, if they've chosen the option 2, Gracie and I, our in-house coordinator, we'd be setting up all the decor, draping while the bride's getting ready.
All the portraits and, you know, the getting ready photos and everything happening. Yeah. All right, bridal babes, I want to talk a little bit about one of my favorite features here on the property, and that is the pond. So I know you guys created this. It's like your baby that you made from scratch.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about why you guys decided to put that there.
Well, it was always Peter's dream to have a pond. And so that was almost already a low point in the ground. So he just extended and dug a little bit more to create that pond.
And how long did it take for that pond to be built?
I think it was more like about a week total.
Okay.
It was done in sections.
Wow.
First he dug, and then we had to find a liner because the water wouldn't hold. And setting down the liner was a chore.
So what's kind of your vision behind the pond? What do you see happening with brides and bridal parties? I know you mentioned something about a boat.
Yeah, so my inspiration as far as going along with building a pond was I saw a photo of a bride and groom in a boat, and it had floral on it, and the bride just looked so happy and beautiful in it, and I just figured with a pond and a boat and the bride and groom, it would just make a perfect picture.
Romantic.
Yes, very romantic.
And bridal babes, I don't think you can find another situation like this anywhere close to San Antonio. So if you're looking for some Venice feel romantic, flower boat-esque, anything, El Bosque's got that covered for you. Well, Bridal Babes, there is just so much to love about this unique wedding venue on the south side of San Antonio. I love their open air chapel, their open air reception area, the fact that they can accommodate up to 150 guests. I love all of it. And if you're also feeling that way, then let's learn a little bit about how we can book the venue, how we can tour. So Lucy, if our Bridal Babes or anyone listening are interested in learning more about the property, how can they find out more from you?
They can contact me directly,
okay,
or through our website, or DM me on Instagram.
Okay, booking process, simple.
Simple.
Well, Lucy, thank you again so much for having us out. It was such a pleasure getting to see the space and getting to know you a little bit more. Bridal Babes, don't forget, El Bosque venue. They're here, they're ready to host your celebration. So contact Lucy when you're ready and she'll get a scheduled tour for you. Well, what did I tell you, Bridal Babes? Isn't this wedding venue super unique? Lucy is ready to give you that tour, so go on down to the descriptions and find out your favorite way to contact her today. Just remember, the buzz doesn't have to stop here. You can find us on all social media platforms, and we have new episodes every Friday. Happy wedding planning, and I'll see you next time.